Are you ready for Sunday school, kids?
Well, good morning, boys and girls. It's great to be with you again. Now, I'm going to ask you to guess what is in this bag. And I'll give you a clue. It's not a cell phone. You guessed right. It's rocks. And how many rocks have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, what do these remind you of? They may remind you of David and Goliath. Now, some background here. The Philistine army was wanting to kill and defeat the Jewish army. And the Israelite army, they decided not to fight, but they said they had this great champion called Goliath, and they asked the Israelites to select someone to fight. Nobody wanted to fight him, and you can understand why. So let me introduce you to Goliath. So this is Goliath, and he is massive. He is 9 foot tall. See how small I am compared to Goliath. Would you fight him? I wouldn't. And the only person who would fight him would be David. And Goliath was not only big, he had a massive sword and an even bigger spear and a big shield. Who would take this guy on? Well, it would be David. And how would he do it? So how would David kill Goliath? Well, he had the 5 stones, and he had his slingshot. And so as Goliath came menacingly towards him, David trusted God, aimed, and fired. And Goliath fell. That's an amazing story. Now, we don't face giants like Goliath, thankfully, but we do face other giants, like sadness, fear, insecurity, loneliness, and even failure. But we have a means to defeat these giants. And remember, there were 5 stones, the 4 here, and the one that we fired at Goliath. And the 5 stones are here for you to remember. They are courage, confidence, preparation, love, and compassion. And with these 5 stones, with God's help in our lives, we can face and defeat the giants that we face in our everyday lives. We'll just close with a short prayer. Dear God, just as you gave David the victory in his battle with Goliath, we know that when we put our trust in you, you will give us the victory over the giants we face in our daily life. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, hello, boys and girls. Lovely to see you today. Welcome to God's Garden. And my name is Mary, and today we're talking about David, the shepherd boy who became a king. And God saw in his heart a special love for God, and eventually David, when he grew up, became king. But this is the story of part of his life when he was just a boy, and he looked after the sheep. And William just told you the story about the giant Goliath. And remember, he had stones, and he had a pouch to keep his stones in. And today we're going to make the pouch. That's our first craft. So I'll show you what you need for the pouch. First of all, we're going to find 5 stones. It says in the Bible 5 smooth stones, so they're quite nice and smooth. So these are my 5 stones here. I think you can see them. Okay, so when you found 5 nice stones, then you can go out, then you can find some kind of special material. This was an old shopping bag that Mary cut out. If you use a big paper plate, a dinner plate, and you draw around the paper plate on your fabric, take your scissors and you cut around on the line. Then you will have a nice circle for your patch. Okay, then you can also find some markers or some crayons or some paint, and you can colour your fabric, make it look sort of rustic, because he was a shepherd boy out in the fields with the sheep. So Marilee's done a beautiful colouring on here. You can see the yellow and the pink. You can make it any colour you like. Then what you need to do is to make holes around it. So they're about 1 inch apart. So you can take your ruler, which I have here, and you're going to measure, actually they're 2 inches apart. So each hole is going to be about 2 inches apart and about 1 inch in from the edge of the fabric. Okay, and where you want to have each hole, because this is what you're going to thread with, you can take your pen and you can make a little circle. Okay, all the way around. Okay, that'll take you a little while. Okay, when you've got all your holes around the edge, then of course you have to punch through them. Okay, so take a nice sharp pair of scissors, be very careful, and you can push through with your scissors the fabric. Okay, push it through quite hard. And if you need help with doing that part, sure, a grown-up will help you. Okay, so when you've got all your holes made, I haven't quite got all my holes yet, just about to. Going to have to push quite hard if you have a nice fabric that's quite tough. There we go. Push with my scissors. You see what I'm doing? Putting the point on there, and I'm, whoops, and I'm pushing. Pushing quite hard. That's it. One more hole to go. There. So when you've made holes all around your fabric, like that, then for threading, the best thing of all is to get a long shoelace, like a bootlace, that are super long. Okay, because they have a nice little plastic part on the end that you can thread with. Okay, so then you're going to thread all the way around to make your pouch or your little bag. Okay, so we're going to go around the circle, and might take a bit of work. You've got to pull really hard. You might need an adult to help you for this part, or you might not. Okay, so this is David's pouch, remember, David the shepherd boy, who God loved in a very special way, because David loved God in a very special way. And that's such a great example for us, because he wasn't perfect by any means, but God helped him to fight Goliath, who was not a good person at all. And God looked after David, and looked after. Sometimes you might come to a hole which you haven't made very well, and that's okay. You just get your scissors and you make it a little bit better. And you take the end of your thread again and you push it through. You see what I'm doing? I'm going all the way around, threading. Okay. I think this is going to look pretty sharp at the end of it. And I think yours will look too. You can use any kind of fabric you like, any colour. And if it's just plain, you can colour it. Use one of your, see, just take a marker and colour it. It'll look lovely. And this is a lovely reminder of the story of David. And when we've finished our pouch, which we will in a minute, I'm going to show you we're going to do something with our stones. Okay, there we are. Now, see what I've done? I've threaded all the way around the pouch. So, and then, when you thread it all the way around, we're going to pull it a little bit like this. Can you see what I'm doing? Hold it up. See what I'm doing? I'm threading it, pulling it together. That's it. Can you see that, boys and girls? See that little pouch we just made? Yeah, you can make one just like that. Remember, it was just the size of a dinner plate. I mean, you can do a bigger one if you want, but you don't really need to. So you'll have lots of long laces left over at the end, but that's okay. I'm going to tie a nice bow. Right. There we are. So what are we going to put inside our pouches? We are going to put the stones. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smooth stones that you found outside. And what we're going to write on them, we're going to write these special words that William talked about. The special words that God gave David and that David showed in his life. So we're going to write confidence on one of them. We're going to write trust on another. This reminds us, these are qualities that God can help us in our lives, give us confidence and trust. We're going to put courage. Sometimes we need courage when things are difficult. Courage. See, I'm writing with my marker on the stones. Courage. Then we're going to write love, because don't forget, God's love is the most important thing. And his love in us. Love. And the last one is going to be a long word, compassion. That means looking out for others and caring. See if I can get this long word in. I have to write quite small. Compassion. There, compassion. It doesn't matter if it's not quite straight. Okay, so we've got our 5 qualities. Now, if you don't want to write these long words, you can write, the Lord is my rock, or my heart trusts in God. Those are on the activity sheets. Okay, so you can do those. You can do that as well, or instead of. Okay, so our 5 little stones. Confidence is going to go in our pouch. Trust. Push them inside our pouch. Courage. Compassion. Caring for others. And most important, love. And then we're going to go in our shepherd's pouch. We pull it together. And there we have our shepherd's pouch with the 5 stones. That's our, I'll put it there. Right? That's our first craft. Okay. Okay, so we'll put this one away. The second craft we're going to do today is a diorama. You know what that is? That's a big picture. Okay, and this one is special because it's going to stand out as a special. So the first thing you need is glue, and you need some corrugated cardboard, like cardboard box cardboard. It looks like this. Okay, and everybody has lots of boxes around the house. So you can cut out a piece of cardboard like this. This is 18 inches by about 10. Okay, or really any size you want. But this is 18 by 10. Okay, and you see it's just cardboard card. And it's quite hard to cut. You might need some help with that part. Then you can cut out some strips of cardboard, the same cardboard. So you want 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, which are 18 inches long. Tells you all this in the instructions. So you want 4 of these, 2 and 2, and then you want 4 this size, which are 8 inches and 1 inch wide. Okay, so you want 4 of those and 4 of these. So when you've done that, and I'll show you what it's going to look like. It's not quite finished, okay, but you're going to paint or draw or colour your picture, the background to the scene. This is going to be the battle scene for David against Goliath. Okay, so this is going to look like that. So this is the battle scene. We've got green grass, we've got hills, we've got trees, and there's some blue sky which I'm about to colour in. Okay, but you can do the colouring after if you would like to. So the first thing we're going to do is to make the edges. So Merrily has glued these on, and we're going to have two pieces along the edge. It's a little complicated, I'll show you. This is going to go like this. And you're going to have to use probably the school glue, the runny glue, because it's strongest. This is cardboard. So I'm going to put some glue on the white side of this, like this. And this is like the frame of your diorama. It's going to stand out and look really stunning when you've done it. Okay, this is the battle of David against Goliath. Remember David the shepherd boy? Right, so we're going to put that on top of like that. That's going to go along that edge. It's going to take you a while to cut all this cardboard out, okay? But that's okay. That is just fine. Push that one down quite firmly. Then you take the other one, put some glue on this side, like this. I think you'll need a fair amount of glue to make it stick really well, okay, because it's cardboard. Okay. Put that on top of the other one. I'm going to push it really hard with my hands, okay? And remember, like all glue things that you glue, it has to dry, okay? So that's the bottom, so I've got the top. I did the same here. I've done the same here. I've done this, and now I'm just going to do this part of the frame, okay? So these are your little pieces, your 8-inch long pieces. So same thing, put some glue on the white side. This white glue, you know, the liquid glue you buy is quite good for cardboard. It's stronger than using a glue stick, okay? Put that on top in there. It should just fit if we've cut it out right, which we have. Push down, push, push, push. And then one more on top. So you're going to make it, it's like a picture frame, so it sort of stands out. And then, we've done that, one more bit of glue I think should do it. Put that on top. I'll hold it up so you can see what I did. Alright, so I've pressed this on here, I've pressed this on here, these are pressed already. Alright, so you've made like a frame for your picture. So now you can draw inside your picture, okay? And already we've got grass, we've got trees, we've got a hill here, and some trees there, and I'm just going to colour some blue sky to make it look like a beautiful sunny day. We don't know if it was a beautiful sunny day, but if it's like today, it was a beautiful sunny day when David went out to meet Goliath. So I'm just going to colour this like this. I'm doing it fairly quickly just so that I don't take up too much time doing this. I'll hold it up and show you my beautiful artwork. Maybe you're colouring on cardboard, so it gets that, you have a bit of a bumpy look about it, but that's okay. Alright, so there's my blue sky. Now, you'll see I've left some spaces here to remind me. So in your activity sheets, boys and girls, if you look, you have pictures of the armies, and you have a picture of Goliath, and you have a picture of David. So you can use these, or you can make your own up. Like if you don't want Goliath to look like that, you can make him however you want. Okay, just remember he was very tall. He was over 9 foot tall, as you saw from William's talk. He's very tall. And then David was just a boy, so he was quite short at that point. And these are the armies, pictures of the armies. Okay, so when you find this page, if you want to use this, you need to cut these out. Okay? Cut them all out, and I've already done that, I'll show you. So here's my Goliath, which I cut round, and you can colour him. Okay, if you want to, you don't have to, but you can colour him, make him look very colourful. And then what we're going to do with him, we are going to glue him on. Actually, that's the first thing we do is the armies. Thank you for reminding me. I reminded myself. So the first thing we needed, this is David's army. Okay, he's going to go there. So we're going to glue him there. Okay, I'll show you. I'll hold it up and you can see. So this I cut out, and this is going to go right there. I hold it up, you can see. So these are the armies behind David, who were supporting David, right? Right, God's armies. Okay, now over here, on this side, we have Goliath's armies, the Philistines as they were called. Okay, so I've got two of those, and we're going to put those, and I cut these out, remember, from here, okay? So they are going to go over this side. These are the people that were fighting God's people. Okay, because they didn't like the people of God. So we're going to put this here. And that one, and I'll hold it up and show you. So there's a Goliath's armies, okay? And if you would like, you can colour those. Okay, absolutely. Okay, now, the last two pieces to go on are Goliath, our giant. And we're going to glue him onto the front of the frame here. Like that. Okay, so he stands out. See, look how tall he looks. Wow. Yes, so we're going to glue him on the front. And if you would like to give colour in his suit of armour, you can do that. So for this piece, you just want to put glue on the very bottom part. Don't forget that. Just on the bottom, see? Because that's the only bit you're gluing. This is different from the others. Can you see how I just put it at the bottom? And that is going to be on our frame. Oops. Okay, so see how I've glued him on the frame? So he's going to sit right there. There. Whoa, doesn't he look big and strong? And there are his armies each side of him. Okay, now over here we're going to put the shepherd boy David with his pouch. See his pouch with his stones and his sling. I think William showed you the sling. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to glue him on the bottom here, just on the frame part. Okay, boys and girls? It's a little different. So he's going to stand out. I'm going to put him down here. So I'll show you. So I've glued him at the bottom of the frame, and he's opposite Goliath because what's he got in his sling? He's got a stone, one of those smooth stones of courage, of love, of strength. Right? And he's going to hurl that at Goliath. And look at Goliath with his suit of armour, but we know that God is with David. Okay, so that's your diorama. And if you want, you can put a hanger on the back, and you can hang it up in your home. And you can colour, don't forget to colour your armies and David and Goliath. And if you want to, you can even colour your frame. Okay, so our diorama. Okay, boys and girls? Okay, boys and girls, so we're going to sing a song about what we just talked about David. And this is a new song for me, a new song for all of us, I think. So we're going to give it a go. Mary has written beautiful words that you can see, very firm, you can see the writing. Okay, so I'll sing it first, and please understand, I'll try not to make a mistake, but I'll do my best. Okay, it's called Only a Boy Named David. Only a boy named David, only a little sling. Only a boy named David, but he could pray and sing. Only a boy named David, only a rippling brook. Only a boy named David, but 5 little stones he took. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And 1 little sling went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And 1 little sling, 1 little stone went up in the air, and the giant came tumbling down. Right, okay, so let's do it again, and this time we'll sing it all together, okay? You sing with me. Only a boy named David, only a little sling. Only a boy named David, but he could pray and sing. Only a boy named David, only a rippling brook. And only a boy named David, but 5 little stones he took. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And 1 little stone went in the sling, and the sling went round and round. And round and round and round and round and round and round and round. And 1 little stone went up in the air, and the giant came tumbling down. Great. Bye, boys and girls.